You know, you could use it, but it's still gonna be exciting because you're not flying off it. You use it as a reference, but it'd be kind of different. But that is an option I read about also. Using talking about the six pack and you pull it up. Got your instruments and all that kind of stuff on the GPSs. I think you even have it on ForeFlight. Do we have that?
Yeah, if you're running ForeFlight, it's or at least it's standard on the Pro version. It's not something I play with much, but yeah, in a oh crap worst case scenario, it's better than nothing.
It's better than not having anything. But if you do lose it, it's not the end of the world as long as you have your cross check going. Okay. When I read the statistics and I came back, and that's the next day when I looked at it, I was going, wow, that was pretty exciting, to come through that. When I talked to Mark about it, like I said, I've got quite a few hours experience. I've been flying these little airplanes like 30 years since high school. And I look at some of the low-time pilots that we have renting and stuff, flying at night, flying in weather. And I think if something like this happened to one of our students or one of our renters, they know what to do. And that's when Mark and I have little discussions of how we're going to make sure they know what they're going to do. And it's going to be getting on the simulator, doing practice, because I can fail anything in there. Tom can fail. He's dial a disaster. He can fail anything and get you to practice that. Yeah. Any other questions about vacuum pumps? Vacuum pump failures?
Now, the ones that they said that were fatalities, what was the main cause? Were they death spiral in?
Most of them, because it reads that the vacuum pump was listed not so much as the cause of the crash, but a contributing factor because it lost the vacuum pump. Is the plane going to crash? No, if you know what you're doing, but that was a leading cause, and most of them would get into a spiral. Back to that study with all those people from 19-year-old kids to 70-year-old men was getting into spirals. They would go up and some of them had sim training, and that was the whole study, is how good is sim training for a pilot? Well, they gave people like 30 minutes of sim training. They took them up in airplanes and actually blocked the windows. It's kind of neat the way they did it. And then they would fail the vacuum. They were actually running on standby, and the guy just took the standby pump off and just watched what happened. Cruise along, all of a sudden stuff starts rolling on you. And it's very subtle. And if you're not watching it, you won't know what's going on. You're wondering, why can't I maintain my heading? Where's my heading going? And you're following your heading, but realizing, banks, everything's going crazy. But I forgot how many got into death spirals, and the IP had to recover the airplane, just because being able to evaluate what's going on. So that's bad stuff.
Was that the guys that had sim training did that too?
They reacted a little bit better. The guys with the sim training did better. The guys that did get sim training, they were the ones going to the death spirals because they weren't adjusted to their cross check. Like I said, in training, they put a sticker up. You just lost your attitude indicator. You go, oh, I sure did. It's no big deal because it's out, it's covered, and you just fly without it. It's when it's that subtle little thing that you, in your mind, you've got to think, what's going on as you're flying. Okay, and you might be in the weather. You might just be taking off, climbing out, and all of a sudden stuff starts rolling on you. What's my turn bank doing? Is it level? Are my wings level? What's my heading doing? How's my VVI? And that's real important also, knowing our known pitch and power settings that in students we teach you guys, in patterns and all that kind of stuff. To know that on a climb out you should have this power setting, you should have this VVI, so much feet per minute and all that kind of stuff. It's good to know when you start losing things. And that's talking about just not vacuum pumps, but you lose anything. Because anything these airplanes can go. It's just using your cross check.
And that's the importance of not just flight instruments, but all the instruments up there as part of your skin on occasion, because that will die slow, but the vacuum will show that if you have enough vacuum, it's going to tell you right away.
Yep. Yeah, there's all kinds of situations with that. But just kind of know your instruments, think about it while you're here on the ground, safely sitting them down, on what to do if things happen. Kind of run through your mind. If I lose that, what am I going to have a backup for? What am I looking for if I lose that? How can I determine if my heading is bad? Well, if I'm wings level and this thing's still rolling, and my mag compass isn't turning, this thing's bad. Cover it up, get it out of your cross check. Don't use it. Okay? Know how to evaluate stuff.
Is the suction gauge going to show no suction?
Yeah, it did.
Goes?
Yep.
Okay.
It went out. And that goes back to the standby, you pull it out, you use power back, your suction comes back eventually. So, but you're gonna be descending.
If you push the power back up,
It goes away.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll lose it again. So that's just, it was exciting. First time I ever had it, you know, in the weather, if you will. And have to go through the weather, partial panel. And like I said, I came back and I feel my partial panel scans pretty good because I fly quite a bit. But when we came down and talked, I told Mark, dude, we got to get training. We got to have this training. It's bad juju. Because it can go bad real fast. And one thing else, if you do have an issue, you correct one thing at a time. If you need to turn, you turn. Then you roll out, then you descend. Don't try to do it descending turn, because you're trying to watch too many things at one time. One thing at a time. If you need to descend, and then turn. Okay? So when you put an input in, cross-check what you have left to see that you're getting what you thought you would get. If I want to descend, I'm looking at my VVI, my altimeter's coming down, everything's good. You're cross-checking to make sure your wing's level. You know, your things checked. But then when you level out, make sure your VVI stopped, altimeter stopped. You know, so you're cross-checking everything. You do an input, get the result that you want. See that you got something going on.
All right, so you're up there, you're making this decision, and you're talking to ATC, and he's bringing you through the clouds, and he says descend and turn. Which is your priority?
Well, I'm not going to I'll just tell them stand by us. I mean, you can't do it. I'm not going to do it. Don't let them drive.
Fly your airplane.
Right.
Don't let them fly your
But
airplane.
if he's trying to bring you down through it, are you gonna descend first and then turn? Or are you gonna turn?
If I'm clear, if I'm going to hit a mountain, then I'm going to turn, of course. But my thing is, I mean, I was wings level, start my descent.
Okay.
I didn't get low enough at 3,400 feet, so I leveled out. Everything, VVI is good, altimeter's good, everything's cool. That's what he says, then I need to turn you. So now I'm level, I'm
Okay.
stable, then I do my turn. Don't let them talk you into doing stuff. Because the guy drinking his coffee goes, man, that didn't work out too good, you know? So, one other thing Mark wanted me to touch about, because we include this training also in our program, is I was flying one of these in college, took off, and remember the Cirrus, or what was that plane?
Yeah, it was a Lancer.
The Lancer that blew the wall up the window and lost his engine, and he hit the bushes and didn't live and all that stuff. Yeah. Well, I had the same thing in this airplane when I was in college. Not this particular one, but an Arrow. Taking off out of Bainbridge, Georgia. Just got an annual, climbing out, sucked the gear up. Everything was good, just about 1,000 feet or so. And all of a sudden, poof! The engine kind of quit. Crap went all over the windscreen. And it happens like that, and you're like, crap, you can't see out the front, okay? In that case, luckily in Bainbridge, you're crossing runways, old military field, so I just went into the left turn and slipping and looking out the left side, threw the gear down. Luckily, it was enough, the prop was still going, it was still good, everything's coming on around, and landed. And it happened, it took about 2 minutes. It was crazy when it happened, bam, but I was able just to do a descending turn back around and land on the crossing runway. So it does happen. It happened so fast in college, you know, you think you're immoral anyway. You know, it wasn't until I landed on the runway, that's when I really shut the engine down, because I let it run while I was going around, oil everywhere. That's when my knees started shaking, after you kind of go, man, that was exciting. Just to tell you about that, because it happened to that guy who got killed. I've had it, so it does happen with that, and that's why Mark and Tom and Paul, you guys, we put the screens up in the windows on training and all that kind of stuff, just to get you to think about, if you can't see out front, how do you fly? The steerman, Mark and I, you know, you fly, you always slip it. You just come in sideways with it. You do the same in that airplane, this airplane. If you do have oil on the windscreen, don't freak out. The plane will still fly, as in you can see. You just kick a little rudder, look out the side. That's what we train now, and just to get you to know that. Everything that we learn from, we try to incorporate into training for you guys, so you'll learn from it. Which goes back to like this magazine. We're trying to learn from other people's mistakes. You take what you learn, you put it in a little bag of tricks. Okay? So one day, if it happens to you, you'll say, oh yeah, I remember hearing about that. Questions, comments? My time is up. See you.